Hey there, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here. So picture this. You're trying to describe a gorgeous sunny day or maybe a freezing winter night to a Spanish-speaking friend, and your mind just goes totally blank. We've all been there, right? Well, today we're diving into a fantastic visual guide to completely master Spanish seasons and weather vocabulary. We're going to make these concepts stick in your brain by pairing them directly with clear, unforgettable visuals. Here is a super quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with las estaciones del año, the seasons. Then we'll unlock what I like to call the weather toolbox. After that, we'll bring it all together by matching that weather to the seasons. And finally, we'll do some rapid-fire practice together. All right, let's jump right in. Okay, kicking things off with part one, las estaciones del año, or the seasons of the year. We literally can't talk about the weather without setting the stage first, right? So we have to start with the foundational building blocks, our four seasons. Knowing these four words acts as the blank canvas for everything else we're going to paint today. We've got Primavera, which is spring. A good trick here is to think of prima as primary, or first, the first blooms of the year. Then comes Verano, summer. It's a short, bright, energetic word for a bright, energetic season. After that is Otoño, autumn or fall. And honestly, that one even sounds a bit like autumn in English, doesn't it? And finally, we wrap up the year with Invierno, winter, bringing a crisp, chilly sound to the end of the calendar. Primavera, Verano, Otoño, Invierno. Definitely keep these in your back pocket. Moving right along to part two, and honestly, this is a real game changer, the weather toolbox. Now that we have our seasons mapped out, we need to talk about the actual weather happening inside them. In English, we are a bit lazy, aren't we? We just rely on one simple phrase, it is. It is cold, it is sunny, it's raining. But Spanish beautifully uses different verbs to paint a much more specific picture of the sky. This breaks down our weather toolbox into four distinct categories: hace, está, hay, and our specific action verbs. For things like cold, heat, and sun, Spanish uses hace, which literally translates to it makes. Hace frío, it makes cold. For conditions that are temporary states of being, like cloudy or sunny, we use está. Está nublado, it's cloudy, or está soleado, it's sunny. For elements that are physically present in the air, like fog or sun, we use hay, meaning there is. Hay niebla, there is fog, or hay sol, there is sun. And finally, for the actual actions literally falling from the sky, we just use the verb itself, llueve for rain and nieva for snow. Let's actually zoom in on that hace category for a second, just to contrast these two extreme opposites. On the left, we have hace frío, it's cold. On the right, hace calor, it's hot. Notice how we absolutely are not saying está here. If you walk outside in July and say está calor, it's going to sound super strange to a native speaker. The verb hacer is the engine driving the temperature here. When you want to express how the air feels on your skin, always reach for hace. All right, part three, matching weather to seasons. This is where it all clicks together visually. Because let's be real, knowing the words on a vocabulary list is one thing, but actually picturing them in action is what makes a language stick in your brain. I absolutely love these four illustrations straight from page 37 of the source material. It's like a visual puzzle. We have the exact same house drawn four different ways, experiencing four totally different climates. We are going to apply our brand new toolbox to visually anchor our abstract vocabulary to this concrete imagery. Let's walk through them one by one. Starting with this first house, you can see the trees are full, little birds are flying around the chimney, the landscape just looks really pleasant. This is clearly primavera, spring. And what do we say about the weather? Hace buen tiempo. Literally, it makes good weather. It's just nice out. So primavera equals hace buen tiempo. Then we slide over to the second house and bam, the scene totally changes. Look at that massive, bright sun with those sharp rays just beating down on the roof. This is unmistakably verano, summer. To describe this, we go right back to our toolbox and grab the verb hace. Hace calor, it's hot. And hace sol, it's sunny. Linking that bright sun drawing directly in your mind to the phrase hace sol is exactly how visual learning accelerates your memory. Check out the third house now. The leaves are flying completely off the tree, blowing across the yard, and these heavy clouds are rolling in right over the roof. This is otoño, autumn. Here, we actually get to mix our toolbox up a bit. For the clouds, we use a state of being. Está nublado, it is cloudy. But for the wind whipping those leaves around, we go back to hace. Hace viento, it makes wind. So otoño gives us está nublado y hace viento. And let's look at our final house. The landscape is completely barren. There's a little snowman proudly standing in the front yard, and snowflakes are dropping from the sky. This is our last season, Invierno, winter. How do we describe it? Well, first, the temperature. Hace frío. It's cold. And for the snow? Remember, we don't use hace or está for this. We use the specific action verb, nieva. It snows. Invierno pairs beautifully with hace frío and nieva.
Okay, part 4. Let's practice together. Time to put you in the hot seat. You've seen the concepts, you've unpacked the toolbox, and you've connected the vocabulary to those visual anchors. Now let's test that retention with a quick, interactive call and response. And hey, don't be shy. Actually try to answer this out loud wherever you are right now. Think about the toolbox. Si llueve, if it rains, using that specific action verb. Y está nublado, and it is cloudy, using our state of being verb. Which season are we talking about? Picture the houses in your mind. ¿Qué estación es? Boom, exacto. If you guessed el otoño, autumn, or la primavera, spring, you are absolutely right. See? You're starting to intuitively link the atmosphere conditions with the broader seasons in Spanish. Excellent job grasping the flow of how this language actually works. All right, let's try just one more. I'm going to pose a slightly different scenario. Picture that final house we looked at, the one with the snowman. If you look out your real-world window right now and see snow actively falling from the sky, which season is it? And what was that specific Spanish verb for the snow falling? Exacto, el invierno, winter. And the specific phrases? Hace frío, it's cold, and nieva, it snows. You successfully matched the season invierno with the specific action verb nieva. By breaking the information down visually like this, you are building real practical confidence in choosing exactly the right words to describe the world around you. We have covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, from the 4 seasons all the way to the precise toolbox Spanish uses to talk about the weather. So, I want to end with a provocative final question for you to take into the rest of your day. Look out your own window right now. Seriously, take a look. Think about the temperature, the sky, the wind. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy en tu ciudad? What is the weather like today in your city? Try answering that question out loud using the verbs hace, está, hay, or specific action verbs like llueve right now. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep practicing.